Hello friends. So in the previous video we have seen how actually the induced torque is developed in the induction motor, right? So it was a simple explanation and we got two things out of that particular video, right? First is that the EMF induced in the rotor, okay, depends on the relative velocity, right? The relative velocity of the rotor and the stator magnetic field, because the stator as such cannot rotate, right, because it is stator, but it is the magnetic field which creates magnetic field which is created in the stator that rotates, right? So it is the relative velocity of the rotor and the stator magnetic field. So this was the one point where we started our explanation, and then we saw actually that the rotor and the speed of the rotor and the speed of the rotating magnetic field will be a little bit different, right? So there is a difference in the speed of the rotor, okay, speed of the rotor. So from now we will call the speed of the rotor as Nm, okay, and the synchronous speed, right, Nc. So there is a speed difference. Now this difference of speed between the synchronous speed and the rotor speed is called the slip speed, okay. So the definition of the slip speed, okay, the definition of slip speed is the difference between, okay, the rotor speed, or we can write difference between the synchronous speed and the rotor speed, okay. So we can call N slip, okay, slip speed N slip is equal to N synchronous minus N m, which N synchronous is the synchronous speed, right, synchronous speed. And what is that equal to? It is equal to 120 F electrical divided by P. Nm is the rotor speed, the actual speed of the rotor. There is a method to find this, but we will use it some other time. Now we want it in terms of slip, okay. So this is the definition of slip speed. Now there is another term which is simply called slip, okay, or it is also called relative slip, okay, relative slip. Now this term slip is actually the relative velocity, that is the slip speed represented on a per unit basis, okay. So this is actually the slip speed represented as a per unit quantity, okay. So you can see that here N slip will be in RPM, right? This is in RPM and this is in RPM, but the slip will be a per unit quantity, which means it will have no unit. So what is the expression? The slip is called S is equal to synchronous speed minus Nm, okay, that is the slip speed divided by the synchronous speed, okay. So here you can see that it is unitless quantity, it is a per unit quantity here, okay. So if you multiply this by 100 you will get percentage slip. So this slip value, if you multiply by 100 you will get percentage slip, okay. So this same expression we can write it in another way in terms of omega, okay, angular velocity. So that will be omega sync minus omega m divided by omega c. These are just different way of representing the same concept. Now let us just modify this equation so that we get something useful, okay. So slip is equal to N sync minus Nm divided by N sync, right. So if I can do a little bit of mathematical jugglery here, so I will get N sync minus Nm is equal to S into N sync, right. That means Nm value will be equal to, if I just take it here, I will get it as N sync minus S into N sync, right. I have just screwed up things here, S into N sync, okay. So this is the expression here. So I can write Nm is equal to N synchronous speed into 1 minus S. Okay. So this is a very important relation, because usually in the nameplate of the induction motor they will give the slip value, okay, the slip value they will give. So to find the speed of the motor, okay, not only in the name value, for example somebody tells you that the slip is say 0.04, okay, what is the rotor speed? You can easily find N sync will be is equal to 120 F electrical divided by P, right. So this is constant for a motor. So if somebody tells you the slip is equal to 0.04, you can just use these values and calculate the rotor speed at that slip, okay. For example, you want to find Nm at full load. This will be equal to N sync, okay, into 1 minus slip at the full load condition. Okay, we'll do some numericals in future videos so that we can understand the concept. So I hope you have understood this video. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.
Now that the video is over, please stay with me for 30 more seconds. Now the vision of this channel is to create a repository of good quality videos with crystal clear explanation regarding various topics related to electrical engineering. Now if you want to help me spread the word, please share this video with anyone interested in these topics. The second thing is that for me, education is a two-way process. Therefore, if you have any doubts or suggestions regarding any of the videos or regarding the channel, please put them in the comments below. We can have a healthy discussion, and that way we can build a strong community of electrical engineers. So that's it for today's video. So till I see you in the next time, it's me Varun signing off, and have a great day. Thank you.